Let's chat first grade. I just finished homeschooling my 7-year-old first grader. This is my second time homeschooling first grade, and I want to share all about how our year went, our successes, our failures, everything in between. If you're new here, my name is Aileen. This is Homeschool with the Clarks. We just wrapped up 6th grade, 4th grade, and first grade. Today we're going to chat about first grade. This year, it was all about reading, and her reading skyrocketed. We used Logic of English Foundations. They have levels A through D. She finished up level C at the beginning of this year, and then we did all of level D, and she just flew through it. I did not expect her to finish Logic of English this year. I thought we would do it into 2nd grade. It does cover more advanced like phonograms and reading and spelling and writing and grammar and reading comprehension and reading nonfiction and fiction books. It's like the whole package. We absolutely loved it. And she is a reading machine. It was such a huge hit for us. And I'm just so proud of her for working hard, because reading, she would, it's, if you've ever taught a kid how to read, it's not easy. And even for her, who is learning comes a little bit easier to her than some other kiddos, it was still a struggle, and she still got frustrated with the hard words, but she persevered, and it was just such a fun program. Like, there's just like games and, like just activities to keep it interesting for a 6 to 7-year-old kiddo. In fact, I actually finished up Logic of English with my older kiddo who's in 4th grade this year as well, and she did it kind of a little bit later, and it was really fun for her too. So that was a huge hit. She is reading, she is writing, she's doing all of the things. And, for next year, looking at a new language arts program for her. I'm not crazy with how Logic of English, their other program, I'm trying to blank on what it's called. Anyway, I'm not a huge fan of how that one's set up, so I don't think we're going to do that one. So now I'm looking at other language arts programs, but it looks like I'm going to be putting her in like a 3rd grade level language arts program. Just looking at what we did in Foundations D, all of the grammar concept covered and writing. I think if I put her into a 2nd grade one, she's going to be bored to tears. So I would have figured that out, but it was really a huge hit. The only thing about the Logic of English that didn't work for us in level D was the spelling. The words, they call it spelling analysis, and the words are just kind of, they're not all in the same word family. And it was kind of confusing for her, and she was really struggling to spell the words correctly, and it was really frustrating. And I had started sequential spelling with her older sister, and I ended up just inviting her to the table to do that with us. And that was a huge hit as well, because she was right behind her sister in language arts levels. It was not really hard for her to just jump in and do it with us. And it's just with whiteboards. And so I just said, why don't you come do this with us, and you don't have to do spelling analysis anymore. And she was so happy, because as much as she loved Logic of English, she hated spelling analysis. It was like a thorn in her side. So she was so happy to be done with that. And sequential spelling worked really well for us. We didn't get to it every day, but they both grew in their spelling skills. So that's what we wanted. The other thing we did for her this year, as far as core subjects, was math. We did Horizons level 1. And so there's 2 books in level 1. When she got to the 2nd book, she just was so bored, and she knew all the things. And I talked about this in my mid-year update. I ended up just like jumping pages and going, okay, what does she not do? Okay, she doesn't know this. Let's go over this. Okay, she doesn't know this. Let's go over this. And we ended up just flying through level 1. And so I moved her up to level 2, and we loved Horizons. Nothing against Horizons. Horizons is great. It's a very colorful workbook. I feel like it was very easy to teach, and I've used it for older kids, and I know that it teaches to them as they get older. But I wanted her, because we were moving her up, but she's still so little, I wanted her to have manipulatives. And although we have manipulatives, I'm really bad about bringing them out. And so I wanted a program that would tell me when to use those, and Horizons does not do that. And so we ended up switching her to Simply Good and Beautiful Math 2 when she finished Horizons level 1, specifically because it was a very similar program in that it's like colorful and has puzzles and stuff. And it's a workbook, but it also has like this math box that comes with it. It tells me exactly when to bring out the manipulatives. And that's what I need. I need something that's like, okay, and now we're going to take out the dice, or now we're going to take out the number cubes, and it incorporates it in. Is it needed 100%? No, you could get away with not having manipulatives, but I just feel like it gives that good hands-on piece that she needs to keep her interested. It's motivating for her. She really, really enjoys math now. She says it's her favorite subject. So that was really great for us. She loved that. We didn't supplement in any way for math for her. We just used that, and she's thriving. I did also have a couple of like independent workbooks for her that we used. We used Explode the Code as a supplement to Logic of English, just to practice those phonics and spelling skills. That was a huge hit. She did level 3 and level 4 this year. We also did Evan Moore's Draw Then Write, which was a huge hit. That was her absolute favorite workbook. I created a checklist for her, like a weekly checklist that she would do with a dry erase marker. And it was like one day she was supposed to do the Explode the Code. One day she was supposed to do Draw Then Write. One day she was supposed to do Art with a Purpose. But it ended up that she would just do Draw Then Write every single day, and Explode the Code, actually. She really, really loved Draw Then Write, though. It was such a well done program. I wish that they had more levels, because it was fantastic. She loved it. And she also improved in her writing, in her putting sentences together and adding in descriptive words. It was lovely. Lovely. Also for first grade, I did purchase the Art with a Purpose, and I've talked about this on a lot of my videos. It wasn't a fit for us. We ended up doing a lot of Art for Kids Hub. We did a ton of his drawing tutorials, and I did it more family style. Like right now we're reading the book Otter. And so, which is a lovely book, by the way, if you've never read it, it's adorable. So we did a drawing, and it's like anytime I wanted to find a drawing to go with something we were learning, oh, he probably had a tutorial. And so it was like, if you've never looked at his videos, definitely check them out, because he's got, I don't know, 4 kids like me or something like that. But he's got one of his kids with him every time. And so he breaks it down really well. He always moves his hand, so it's like a good opportunity to pause the video so kids can do it. So he'll draw a little piece of it, and then his kid draws a little piece of it, and the pictures always end up looking different, which is really encouraging for my kids, because they can see it looks different, because there's some frustration there, of course, when you're trying to draw something and it's not looking the way that the other person's picture is looking. And he has so many tutorials. So that was a really big hit for us, even though Art with a Purpose didn't work. And then one thing we added in towards the end of the year, which is funny because I was going to do it with her in kindergarten and I just never did it, 5 in a row. So I have like an old version of 5 in a row level 1 that I bought on Facebook Marketplace. And if you're not familiar with it, it's based on like really good quality children's literature. You read the same children's book 5 days in a row. And then it has all of these activities that you can incorporate to cover some math concepts, social studies, history, literary analysis, all of the things. And so I started doing that with her. We only did 2 books. We did Lentil and we did The Story of Ping. And those were so fun. And it was just really good for me to just make some time one-on-one with her, because we had been reading novels that were more advanced for her, and also doing Harry Potter in the car. And I feel like both of those were just a little bit too much for her. She needed something that was just more picture book oriented. Even though we do read picture books still, I just needed something to just really focus on her, because she is, 3 grades lower than her sister and 5 grades lower than her brother. And she just needed something that was a little slower. So 5 in a row was really fun. And I hope to figure out how to make time to incorporate it again with her next year. I'm thinking maybe like we do 1 book a month or something, just so that I can have some time with her. She enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We did some crafts. She loves crafts. She's a crafty girl. So that was really fun. And then we just did a lot of reading. We read together. We've been reading Zoe and Sassafras together. So that's been really fun. We're also reading The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh with her and her little sister. And she's a reading machine. She's had some ups and downs this year with being frustrated with reading, but I feel like it's finally clicking, and I see her up in bed, her lights on, she's in her bed reading, and it's way past her bedtime, which makes my mama heart so happy. They can always stay up and read, as far as I'm concerned, even though it's past their bedtime, because I love that she's just getting taken away in story. It's been so, so good. If you are liking this video so far, will you please give me a thumbs up and like this video? I would greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about activities. So I talked about like our book work, and we did do some family studies, and I'll do a separate recap video of our family studies, but let's talk about Whole Child. She was also doing other things. She's been doing Girl Scouts. I am co-leader this year, and she bridged to brownies at the end of this year. So that was very exciting. She has been doing gymnastics all year and participated in a gymnastics show, and that was really fun. She moved up a level, and then she also played Little League baseball. She had never played baseball before, and she was very nervous, and she even got hit by the ball a couple times when they had to switch to kid pitch, but she persevered and did it, and it was so great. And I was so glad to be able to offer those opportunities to her. And one of the things that I really love about being able to homeschool is that we have a very full life, and I think it's okay to be busy. But because we homeschool, we tend to finish school a little bit earlier than the public school kids. Not every day, because I am homeschooling 3 children, but she still has downtime. She's not like getting home from school, eating dinner at 3 p.m. because you have to go to baseball, and then going to baseball. Like, she had some downtime still, but then we still had those fun activities that she participated in. So it was really great to be able to offer that. The other thing that we did this year was she did piano lessons with Hoffman Academy. We've been using their free version. I am considering moving up to their paid version so we can incorporate some practice and games, but even the free version has been really great. We have done in-person piano lessons in the past. It's just managing the time and the cost of all of the things. So we did the free version this year, and that was really great as well. So that was first grade. I can't wait to share what we're going to do for second grade, so stay tuned.